have you been? Okay, well, sit down, we can talk about it whilst I work on your hair. Yeah, no worries. I've been okay, yeah. It's been quite busy, but... Alright, sit down. Let me just grab a cape and then we can talk about stuff, okay? Alright. Can you just pop your head up for me? Wrong way. Yeah, it's quite windy outside, so you might hear the chimney knocking. Apologies. Okay, so it's just some pampering we're doing for you today. I know you like to have your hair sectioned and clipped, so I thought we could do a little bit of that, and hopefully I'll make you feel a bit better as well. Okay, right, I do just want to start by brushing your hair out, darling, okay? Yeah. And whenever you feel comfortable to, you can just talk about whatever it is that's bothering you. I'm just going to start by brushing the ends out, making sure there's no knots, and then I'll move to my other brush, okay? Okay. Well, this problem that you're having, can the outcome be changed? Okay, well, there's a few ways you can look at a situation like this. If the outcome cannot be changed, we can do option one, which is you can allow yourself to sit in those feelings, however you may be feeling regarding the situation. Allow it to fester, but allowing yourself the support of other people as well. Or you can look at the situation and say, I can't change this, but what I can do is learn from it and take the energy that you would put towards, you know, feeling sad, frustrated, angry, whatever it is, and turn it into something more positive. That is kind of how I look at everything now. Not to make this about me, but yes, I'm using the ball bristle brush now. You know, I got to a point in my life where any minor thing that happened was means for a complete breakdown. But that just wasn't a healthy way of living or coping. And I do allow myself to sit within feelings. Like, for example, I actually really enjoy being sad, not in a strange way, and it's kind of difficult to convey in conversation. But when you are fully understanding and appreciative as to why you are feeling that way, it brings you out the other side of it. So I know that I'm sad. I appreciate the feeling of sadness, but I know that it will go away. Does that make any sense? I could just be rambling on. Feel free to tell me to shut up at any point. I'm not particularly spiritual by any means, but I feel fairly in tune with the universe around me, what surrounds me, what's going on. And in taking time to understand myself, which is what I think everybody should be able to do, although I understand that some people's circumstances don't particularly allow it. In understanding yourself, it just gives you a completely different perspective on so many things. I'm such a placid person now. I'll still speak up for things that are what I see as wrong, but I'm just able to confront things in a more non-aggressive manner. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't mean for us to go so deep right at the beginning of the session, but sometimes hearing other people's perspectives on how they cope or handle things, it can enlighten you in a way. Okay. Right. I'm just going to start by parting where your hair naturally falls, okay? Yeah, so moral of the story, we cannot change the outcome, but we can change the volume that we allow it to consume us. Okay. Has anything else been happening? Not to make the situation you're in less meaningful, but has anything else been going on? Yeah? Okay. No, it's just been work, work, work here. But I like to be occupied. I've been on a particularly miserable diet recently, but hopefully it will benefit in the long run. Yes, so I've been eating. Now I will intermittently fast. I don't eat breakfast. I never really have been a breakfast person, so I don't normally eat until, you know, anywhere between sometimes 2 and 3 o'clock, which can sound bad. But it works for me. And excuse me, I have been having a lot of eggs recently. I'll normally have, for my lunch, I'll have 4 eggs and an avocado, or half an avocado normally, or I'll have 3 eggs and a tin of tuna, or I'll have 2 eggs, tuna and avocado. That's my lunch most days. And then for dinner I'll have some kind of chicken dish, or depending on how much money I have, maybe a steak. With grains. Have you ever had grains before? Yeah, it's like a mix of like quinoa and stuff like that. I'm not actually 100% sure what grains are specifically, but yeah, some kind of grains, and then like broccoli, or something else equally lacking in flavour. But I do have to put some kind of hot sauce on top, otherwise it gets boring very, very quickly. If you're wondering why my lips look different, I actually used a lip stain this morning and I accidentally overlined like the bow in my lip, so it's kind of made them look a bit big, or maybe they look average. I do have a much smaller top lip. I don't know, what do you think? Yeah. I'm sorry if I keep running my fingers through my hair. I'm due a hair wash and my scalp gets a little bit itchy when I need to wash it. And also, I've had to stop. I drink a lot of coffee, and I normally use excuse me, if I don't have one from the machine where it has like the milk in it, I'll just have like coffee granules. And what in the coffee granules, excuse me, I normally use something called Coffee Mate. It's like an evaporated milk powder, and I'll also top it up with milk as well. And I've started to just drink black coffee now, so my teeth will probably be stained. I've been brushing them a lot. If I'm at home after every coffee, I'll brush my teeth. But I am quite particular with my oral hygiene. Okay, now I think I'm just going to pop some bobby pins in, if that's okay with you. Good. Is there anything that you want to do in the new year? Not a resolution as such, but just something you'd... Fair enough. One thing I'd like to do is... I do want to get my full bike license. Yeah, so in the UK, I'm not sure how it is in other countries, but in the UK, you go and do a test for a day. Well, it's not really a test, it's called a CBT, which stands for Compulsory Basic Training. And at the end of it, if they think you're competent enough to go out and ride a motorbike, they give you a certificate, which I passed, fortunately, or got the certificate, I should say. And then there's a couple of different license types, so there's like A1, A2 or full A, and a full A license lets you ride whatever bike in terms of CC. But on a CBT you can only ride a 125. Is this making any sense to you? Yeah, so the 125, if you think of it, you drive a car. Yeah, so I'm assuming you know like what litre your car is. So is it a 1 litre engine or... Yeah. So just think of the cc's similar to that. So yeah, that's one thing I'd like to get my full bike license. Do you know something I really love to do as well? appreciate I probably won't get around to doing this year, or probably in the next few years, but it's one of those things, you know. I'd love to go and do one of those ranch experiences somewhere in America where you get to ride horses, like, just, yeah, just seems so beautiful. That's more like a bucket list thing though. Yeah, because I did look into it not too long ago, but it's so expensive. Yeah. I love horses. I love riding horses. Not that I get to do it particularly often, but it's just one of those things. Yeah. But it's also the different style of riding, and like the different saddle types and things like that. I did then look into whether there's like any Western experience riding schools nearby here, but there isn't really anything close by. There's like an experience somewhere, I believe it's near Cornwall potentially, but I'm not 100% sure. Somewhere that way. Again, also very expensive, but looks fabulous. Another thing I want to do this year, sorry, I keep talking about me. Feel free to just interrupt my dialogue at any moment. Another thing I want to do is film a showreel. Yeah, I mean, I've never done, well, depends what you class as professional, to be honest, but I've never done acting in the environment of film or television. I've done a lot of theatre, or theatre, however you'd like to say it, work. I did study acting as well. Not to the degree of university, but that was always kind of a desire of mine, and then life happened. But it's never too late to start something, so I'd like to film a showreel, get involved with some, you know, maybe amateur filmmakers, just to have more to provide to potentially a casting agent, but who knows. I always say that it's never too late to start something new. You know, I'm not, I get nervous, but the same way as what I said about being sad, I enjoy being nervous because it means that the situation means something to me. So is there anything that you've wanted to try but have felt like maybe it's too late, or Yeah? Well, I think you should go for it. Yeah, don't let doubt or fear stop you from, really going for something that could potentially change your entire life. There's that saying, could've, should've, would've. I don't want to look back on things that I should've, could've, would've pursued. I want to say I at least tried. Yeah. Okay. Now, would you like me to give your scalp a little bit of a scratch where we have made the parts? Of course I can. I like to remind people that it's okay to love yourself. Very different from being self-absorbed or narcissistic in some way, but loving yourself and allowing yourself to be comfortable with who you are is incredibly powerful, and it will change your life in many ways. And let me just clarify, I am by no means perfect. I make mistakes still, but they're my mistakes, not ones that were taught to me by people I've surrounded myself with, or people that have raised me. Everybody is living for the first time, so if you're going to make any mistakes, make sure they're your own. Near the wind. Yeah, I think there was a storm of some kind. You'll have to forgive me, I'm not particularly a follower of or watcher of the news, but I did see that there was a storm, which, again, talking of Cornwall earlier, I think it was in Cornwall. Okay, my love. So I think what I'm going to do now is just leave you for a short while. May I make you a drink of anything at all? we have the option of tea. We have a variety of tea, so Earl Grey, English breakfast, green tea, peppermint, ginger, rose. I think we have rose tea as well. We have the coffees, so we could do a white Americano, a black Americano, a flat white, a latte, cappuccino. We can do the espresso shots as well. We don't have the facilities to make you an iced drink, no. We can also do hot matcha. A chai tea, yes, we do have chai actually. Do you want cinnamon powder on top? Of course. Right, I shall go and make that for you now. What I'm going to do is give you a warm towel, which I just want you to pop your hands in and just allow yourself to fully take a break, relax, separate yourself from the problems you're experiencing, and just take some nice deep breaths. Okay? I'll be back for you shortly, alright?